Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Poray, a family and sports chiropractor in Brooklyn, Ontario. Our subject is orthotics, and why do chiropractors and other therapists prescribe them? Well, orthotics are corrective devices that are worn inside a person's footwear in order to normalize a number of different problems. These can include low back pain, foot pain, ankle pain, knee and hip pain, and even headaches. They're used to change the biomechanics of the foot so that the chain from the foot to the eye creates the optimal function of all the joints and muscles in between so that the athlete performs best in their sport. And they can be assured that the base of support from which they begin each action is stable and biomechanically correct. Now, if you look at how a house is built, you'll see that the foundation needs to be straight and strong. If it's not, then the walls built above it will eventually bend and fail. Because the stresses to the building are not in the strongest directions, those stresses will wear away at the joints and structures until it finally collapses far sooner than it should. Would you go to the top of the CN Tower if you saw that it was tilting? You certainly wouldn't, because you'd know that it would eventually fall over, and it might do that while you're at the top. No thanks. So the principles of chiropractic essentially are based on engineering principles like those of a building. The chiropractic doctor is trying to correct all those little faults in your structure so that they won't bend and fail before their time. You're probably thinking that a building is a solid structure and I'm flexible and can adjust. So how is that the same? Well, first of all, buildings, including the CN Tower, are quite dynamic, and they move back and forth with the force of winds and movements in the ground. If they didn't, they would snap and crumble. The taller the building is, the more important it is that proper adaptations are built into that foundation. Now, in humans, our structure and support is based around how the brain perceives the world around us. We see through our eyes that the horizon in front of us is flat. If it's flat, we're not tilting. If we're not tilting, then we can move comfortably. If our eyes tell our brain that the horizon is not flat, then the brain tells the body what to do, what it must do in order to flatten that horizon. If we're standing on a hill, then we bend a leg until we're straight, and the brain is happy. But what happens if we're not standing on the hill and the horizon is tilting? In this case, the brain tells the body to bend the neck, so that the horizon is once again parallel, or the eyes are parallel to the horizon. What happens if we have one leg that is longer than the other? Well, by the way, this is somewhat true in all of us anyway. If, however, it is of a significant amount, then the body starts adjusting parts, bending and rotating in order to bring those eyes back to the horizon. So if you're not standing on a hill, if you are standing on a hill, it's not really a big deal, because you're soon going to move off that hill and resume a normal stance. But if you have a shorter leg, your body will constantly and continuously be making corrections, and this will result in excessive wear and tear on those joints, bones, and muscles. In the human structure, the skeleton, these excessive forces can cause inflammation and structural changes, which we know as arthritis. That's the long-term failure. In the short-term failure, the body makes certain adjustments, and you wind up with strain and pain. And for the athlete, this translates into inefficient biomechanics and decreased performances. So where can we find the sources of these structural problems? Well, if we start with the feet, we can find tilted calcaneuses or heel bones. Flat arches and high arches, both are sources of problems, as one tilts the ankles in and the other tilts the ankles out. Now, tilting the ankles changes the angle of the shin bone, which changes the angle of the knee, which in turn affects the mechanics at the hips and results in compensations in the base of the spine. These changes are compensated for all the way up the spine right to the neck. A constant stress to the structure of the neck can place stresses on the nerves directly below the skull, which can then result in tension or cervicogenic headaches. Now, orthotics come in two forms. The first is the off-the-shelf ones, which you can buy because you know you have flat feet or some other condition that's causing you foot pain. These are relatively inexpensive and are certainly not covered by your extended health insurance. They're kind of like cheater glasses. The same prescription for both eyes, regardless of your deficiency. They will help you read, but they are certainly not really correcting your vision. The second type are prescription orthotics. These are custom made to your feet and are based on your complaints and deficiencies. They'll be different for both feet, and they can be made to fit specific shoes and specific activities. There are also two ways to measure for your orthotics. The first way is the static method, which can be done either by plaster casting or by static molding in styrofoam. The second method is a dynamic method using a computer to assess your gait. Now, we can do either at the Brooklyn Family Health Center because we use the FootMax gait analysis system. I prefer dynamic analysis with the computer because it shows how your weight moves through the entire step as well as structural problems. It shows where the maximum points of contact are, and it uses 3 different measurements of each step, allowing for the lab to pick the one that is the truest. Now, the next important part of a custom orthotic is to determine what you will be using it for. Most insurance companies want to be certain that your corrective devices are helping you to function on a day-to-day basis, so the orthotic should be transferable from one form of footwear to another, i.e. work boots to formal shoes. However, there are so many different types of footwear that this is not really always possible. For example, if you're a runner, you'll require lightweight, sweat-wicking, extremely flexible orthotics. If you require them for skates or ski boots, then they have to be narrower than the ones for your shoes. There are special orthotics for sandals and special designs for high heels. There's many reasons to have multiple pairs of custom orthotics. The most important thing to remember is that the orthotic is fitted to your foot, your condition, and your activity. That is why orthotics are as costly as glasses and why they are as important to your health. Many extended health insurance companies will cover the cost of orthotics. Many take the prescriptions of family doctors, chiropractors, chiropodists, or podiatrists, but some don't. Either check your particular policy or get a prescription from your family doctor just to be on the safe side before you make an appointment. We'll provide the gait analysis, prescription, and the manufacturing methods for your insurance company. For more information about this, you can link directly to FootMax from my website at www.drporay.com. I hope this is giving you a little insight into the importance of custom orthotics and why chiropractors feel they are important to your healthy back and sports performance. I'm Dr. Mark Poray, and you can find more blogs on other health subjects at my website, or you can call for an appointment to the Brooklyn Family Health Center located north of Whitby at 905-655-5767. Thanks.